I'll be looking back at Jennifer Lopez's part in the Super Bowl halftime performance of 2020. In my last video, I went over Shakira's part. If you haven't seen that already, it's going to be down in the description box. Make sure to check it out. Let's get started. She opens up her part of the performance singing Jenny from the Block. The first part that I actually enjoy from this performance, it's when they do a close-up of her and her backup dancers, and they do this little head nod thing. Very small, very simple, but it's very effective also. Her choreographer for her performance was this New Zealand choreographer called Paris. I'm not sure how to say her last name, but this is her full name right here. She's part of a dance crew and she choreographs for a lot of artists actually. You can always tell when it's a Paris choreography because they tend to do a lot of like small, very detailed stuff. The energy that the dancers bring behind those simple moves, like a simple head nod thing or a head side to side shift, is just so impactful. The next part that I enjoyed from her performance was her transitioning to Ain't It Funny. I think in the performance she says ain't that funny. The lyrics says ain't it funny, so don't come at me if I'm saying it wrong. So yeah, she goes ain't it funny, and they go into their formation and the backup dancers kind of do this hair flip. I don't know, it's a very simple formation, but it goes with the song. The next part that I really enjoyed was actually the whole section for Get Right. For some reason I just associate that song with TRL and VMAs, so it has a whole bunch of nostalgia to it. I feel like the chorus is so hype and I like the energy that she's bringing while she's singing the song. She's been very strong but like kind of like mellow, and at this point like the energy's really building up, and it leads to something that she attempted to do again at the New Year's Eve performance, and that's the knee slide. This time she does not run into the camera. I like how her backup dancers kind of separated and then the stage kind of lit a path for her and she slides down to it. Very powerful. This part potentially might be my favorite part of her whole performance, and it is when she's transitioning into Waiting for Tonight and all of her dancers are getting on stage and they're kind of like rolling on stage. They're like moving in very fluid motions. They look like tumbleweeds but make it fashion. Do you know what I mean? Like they're kind of just rolling on stage all over the place, but it just looks so cool and it was just very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, definitely enjoyed this part too. Another part that I really enjoyed is actually still within that performance of Waiting for Tonight, and it's when she starts going up the pole and she's spinning around and she flips her hair to the beat. It's very simple but it's so powerful. Her leg strength to hold herself up there, her ab strength to be able to flip her hair and not fall off the pole. After she does that, the floor kind of breaks and so it's like a waterfall. It's just such a cool effect. That whole section of her flipping her hair and the floor breaking and unveiling a waterfall beneath them. This next part caught me by surprise. J Balvin came out and he started singing Que Calor. Last year around this time I was completely obsessed with that song. During this part, her backup dancers were on the pole, and if you look to the sides you can kind of see them. I wish that the camera had actually gotten it because it was very artistic and very entertaining to watch. She moves on to doing this sort of mashup or remix of Love Don't Cost a Thing. Once again, you can totally tell that Paris choreographed this part. It's a lot of ticking, a lot of hitting the same move over and over again, but just with so much attitude that it looks so hype. At one point it became a huge trend on TikTok to recreate this part of the performance, and you get to see the pole dancers once again a little bit more. This next part, her and J Balvin are interacting. It leads to them saying un, dos, tres, cuatro, and then she starts flipping her hair, and then her backup dancers take it a step further and they just drop to their knees and continue flipping their hairs. Just that change of levels was so hype. Yeah, that's another small part that just gets stuck in my head, is that un, dos, tres, cuatro, and then the hair flip. They probably had some chiropractors waiting backstage to fix all of their necks because my neck hurt just looking at it. This is another moment that caught me by surprise. I don't know if there was interviews hinting that this was going to happen, but then when her daughter started singing this song, I was like, wait, I know that song. Wait, that's not her voice. And then seeing her daughter singing Let's Get Loud, it was just so powerful. There was a lot of symbolism going on during this part. I know that all the kids sitting in cages represented everything that's going on with immigration and kids being locked up, kids being separated from their parents once they go into immigration custody. Also, when you look at the stage, the camera kind of pans out. It is a symbol for female. You know how there's like a male-female symbol? That's the one for female. So this leads to my next part that I enjoyed of her performance, and it's when all the kids join her on stage and they're all dancing to Let's Get Loud. It's just so enjoyable seeing all of that energy on stage. It was a really good way for her to end her performance. I know she continues singing singing and does this whole like Born in the USA section, but I don't consider that to be her solo performance. I feel like that's more her and Shakira starting to interact together, because at the end they do come together and they close out the show together. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely more excited for Shakira going into this performance, and I was definitely most excited seeing Shakira after this performance. Jennifer Lopez did her thing. She was very entertaining. There wasn't a favorite part in her performance, but there were a lot of enjoyable parts in her performance, that being Jennifer Lopez's part. I do want to talk about when they do finally come together at the end, but I'm going to save that for my next and final video regarding the halftime performance. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Once again, if you haven't seen the video I made reviewing Shakira's performance, it's going to be down in the description box. Make sure you click it, check it out, and yeah, thanks for watching.